From VOA Learning English, this is the Education Report. UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund, has reported some good news about education in two areas of Somalia. Puntland and Somaliland are now relatively peaceful and secure, at least compared to central and southern Somalia. A study found that in Puntland, the share of students in primary education increased from 26% to 43% over the last 5 years. A smaller increase was reported in Somaliland. In both cases, the gains in school attendance were greater among boys than among girls. Girls leaving school is a problem across Somalia. For example, only 1/3 of Somali girls who had completed first grade took the Form 4 exam in the 2011-2012 school year. And girls represent only 28% of students in Somali secondary schools. The communications chief for UNICEF in Somalia, Susanna Price, says more schools are being built. She says the agency is developing projects in several fields of education. She also says UNICEF has been working on training teachers and developing non-traditional forms of education. Some of these programs are for children of families that herd livestock and move from place to place. Susanna Price says education is very important to the future of Somalia. But there are problems in getting parents to send girls to school. The spokeswoman says UNICEF encourages equality between males and females in education. More universal education could help Puntland and Somaliland also improve other areas of development, such as health care. For VOA Learning English, I'm Laurel Bowman.
Hello, this is Ming Na. Every year, approximately 300 children under the age of 5 drown in swimming pools and spas. Thousands more hospitalized after close calls. Every single one of these deaths and injuries is preventable. Simple steps save lives. And not just 1 or 2 steps, but multiple ones must be taken at all times to ensure safety around pools and spas. That's what we mean by pool safely. So always apply as many of the following simple steps as possible, because you never know which safety step will save a life, until it does.
When there's the potential for trouble, my boy's going to find it. So I pool safely by staying within arm's reach. No matter what kind of pool, lifeguards or not, a designated adult watches the kids. When I'm the water watcher, I move my chair near the edge. I do a regular head count and step in when there's too much horsing around. When there's a group of kids and parents, we always know who the water watcher is, and we always keep track of our own kids. And when swim time is over, when the kids are out of the pool area, is when I make phone calls, respond to texts, and chat with friends.
I do everything I can to keep the kids I sit safe, starting with always keeping an eye on them. A pool fence is also a super important way to pool safely. It's a physical barrier that keeps kids out of the pool. Fencing needs to be at least 4 feet high, ideally 5, and impossible to climb. It has to have a gate that closes and latches securely on its own, and a latch release knob that cannot be reached by little ones. It should surround the entire pool, but if your home creates a fourth wall that blocks off the pool area, make sure you install and use door alarms. A fence is the guardian that's always vigilant, but it doesn't replace supervision and water safety skills. If the family I babysit for has a pool, I make sure to talk to them about the system of safety they use, and then add my own steps.
Pool and spa safety covers are a great way to pool safely. Visually, they say not open, and covers tested to meet safety standards should be strong enough to hold a child or children who don't know any better, and teach kids to stay away from them. Spa should always be covered and locked when not in use. There are pool covers designed to be used daily too, automatic ones that can be used and removed by an adult in a short time. So choose the one that works best for you. And don't forget about those ladders on above ground pools either. Take them out when not in use. They scream "climb me" to the little ones. And as always, remember, nothing replaces constant supervision.
Jake is 3, which means he's quick, agile, and super curious. So we pool safely with a couple of alarms. One goes off when the back door that leads to our pool is opened. The other is in the pool itself and goes off when something falls in the water. This way, if a neighbor's child or a friend or even Jake somehow gets to the pool without anyone knowing, I'll know about it instantly. There are many alarm choices. Ones for house doors, the pool gate, surface wave, and underwater alarms, even ones that your child can wear. We chose the system that works best for us. You can choose the system that works best for you. And remember that close supervision is always a requirement.
My girl is always curious, and that can be dangerous in a pool or spa. We pool safely by staying away from drains, skimmers, pipe and vacuum lines, and other pool equipment that can pose a danger to swimmers. It may sound strange, but whenever we go to a new pool, I make sure to ask about new safety drain covers. They can help prevent swimsuit straps, jewelry, and hair from getting entangled, and they are shaped to prevent suction from trapping a person. Plus, public pools and spas are required by law to have them. My daughter teases me for being a safety drain cover geek, but she's worth it. We know that simple steps save lives.
Drownings in close calls are 8 times more likely to happen to kids who can't swim, or to kids being supervised by adults who can't swim. It's why swimming lessons are a crucial water safety step. In fact, swimming is the only sport that can save a life, and lessons are available to kids and adults of all ages. To know what's right for your child, do what I did and ask your pediatrician. Then ask your swim instructor to include other age-appropriate water safety skills. For lessons, try your local Y, American Red Cross chapter, or community pool. But remember, even good swimmers can drown, so make sure there's always supervision.
Most of us know someone who has had a close call in the water. Unfortunately, my close call is about me and my son. It was at a pool without a lifeguard, but with lots of people. By the time I got to him, he was unconscious. I pulled him out and had to perform CPR. It worked. Now I take a CPR refresher course every year through the American Red Cross. It's how I pool safely, and it's something we all can do to build our own water safety skills. Take a CPR course, please, because you never know which step will save a life, until it does.
I think everybody understands that students can save a lot of money when you give them either a completely free resource, or even if you have an institution that's running a formal OER program and maybe assessing a $5 fee or a $10 fee on a course. when you're replacing a $200 textbook with a $5 or $10 fee, obviously there are all kinds of benefits to students on the financial side there. And then how those benefits trickle down is something that we're really starting to wrap our heads around now, but need to understand better. What are the changes in the drop rate? What are the changes in the percentage of students that complete with a C or better? Do students take that money that they saved on textbooks and reinvest by enrolling in an additional course? There's some preliminary evidence that they do that they take more courses in terms when they're assigned OER in place of commercial textbooks. Do they return next semester at a higher rate? Do they make those benchmarks of 15 credits completed, 30 credits completed faster? So there's a whole range of kind of learning outcomes that we have 1, 2, 3 studies around that are promising, but we just need a lot more work in those areas. And then on the financial model on the institution side as well, there's a lot of questions about, well, what happens to our bookstore revenue if we start adopting freely available materials and students aren't spending lots of money at the campus bookstore? But at the same time, when you decrease the percentage of students that drop a course before the add drop deadline, then there's money that an institution would have refunded to students that now they retain instead of refunding. And also, as I said a second ago, there's some preliminary evidence that students enroll in more courses in a term. So what the financial impact on the institution is, where you've got kind of a negative delta on the bookstore side, but a positive delta potentially in terms of revenue that you hold on to that you don't refund, additional revenue as students enroll in more courses. Just understanding that breadth of impact on the student and the institution. And more recently, we've started to have conversations about the impact on the faculty member as well. When you adopt a textbook, you kind of receive a package, and it's literally a package, right? It has a hard cover, it's on glossy paper, but it's a thing, or even if it's a digital object, it's something that you have streaming access to. You probably can't download and own your own copy, and you certainly can't make changes to it. You don't have that kind of permission. So this idea that when a faculty member adopts open educational resources, it actually expands their academic freedom. It gives them more potential for what to take apart, what to redo, what to throw away, what to pull in from a third source. As faculty are starting to exercise those permissions or that expanded academic freedom, then you see faculty attitudes are, pretty positive in the sense that I'm empowered to do more now than I was before. And as you start to see student outcomes track that investment that faculty members make in localizing and making more appropriate, culturally sensitive, things like that, the materials that they're adopting, that whole faculty usage piece is another piece that's top of mind in addition to the institutional impacts and the student impacts. Yeah.